You probably should have gotten stuff from these places before the apocalypse began, but ended up procrastinating, and now there's only one thing you can do: looting, and lots of it. Grab your night vision goggles, a crowbar, and your flashlight, because scavenging for what's left over may become your only option. To places where you might find the perfect katana, to eat whatever you can find inside the pet store, here are the best places to loot in the zombie apocalypse.
Hey guys, how's it going? I'm your host, American Eye. Before we get started, make sure you smash that subscribe button, hit that like button, and ring that bell for notifications. And remember, help us get to 1 million subscribers.
Number 13. Amazon Fulfillment Centers. It's very possible that when zombies are roaming the earth, your Amazon shipment isn't going to come on time. So why not get your hands on it straight from the source? Chances are you'll feel quite fulfilled during the zombie apocalypse if you're able to loot an Amazon Fulfillment Center. These places are jam-packed full of items that you should use during the zombie apocalypse. Since Amazon ships everything from A to Z, you should be able to get your hands on things that can no longer be sent to your doorstep in a 24-hour period. These places are like warehouses that store Amazon's products. It's safe to say that one good looting of a fulfillment center could lead to survival during the apocalypse. These places will be valuable targets considering the wide variety of products you might come across. Number 12. Bass Pro Shop. Sporting goods stores normally don't have too much food, but pretty much everything else they got you need for survival. Be sure to pick up plenty of weapons, guns, and ammunition. Hopefully you can find your sized running shoe because there won't be any store employees to help you pick out the right pair. Helmets, aluminum bats, crossbow bolts, camping gear, and maybe even some knee pads. Who cares? There's tons of people rushing these places, and you're sure to encounter all kinds of crazy people. They might even have the weapons that you're looking for. They might not take too kindly to people coming in and trying to take their supplies. If you find yourself coming here, get the stuff you wanted and get out as fast as possible. Don't try to camp out inside very long because you'll be a target for worried people who didn't prepare for the outbreak. Number 11. Bookstores and libraries. Your English teacher will likely approve of you coming to a library, but they won't likely expect you to come here during the apocalypse and using burning books for fire. But in any case, books are made from paper and they do catch on fire pretty easily. They seem like they could become a fairly limited fuel source during the end of days. We also suppose that books will contain some good knowledge about how to start a settlement, build machinery, about certain viruses, and how to create a vaccine. Reading might also help you ease your mind and also help keep you from going completely insane. The useless books can go into the fire pit and help you cook your next meal or even to keep you warm. Other than books though, you likely won't find a great food source inside unless you can find our next thing to loot. Number 10. Vending Machines. Coming across a vending machine in the zombie apocalypse is almost like finding some kind of care package, and they should be looted immediately. Vending machines contain all kinds of crazy products nowadays, especially if you live in Japan. But you should really avoid shaking those things, especially if your product gets stuck. In fact, you're more likely to be involved in a vending machine accident than you are to be involved in a shark attack. Consider keeping some tools that'll help you break into them and retrieve precious amounts of energy inside. You really don't have to feel too guilty about it because it's not really stealing anymore if there's no one to enforce the law. Just do your best thing not to overdose on sugar once you crack open a couple vending machines with your metal baseball bat. Number 9. Fast food restaurants. Another location that hopefully has some food stored inside, the United States has an abundance of fast food restaurants across the country which might contain some useful things. Apart from the obvious, these restaurants could have useful items such as utensils, cooking supplies, oils, sugary syrup, and maybe some Happy Meal toys to keep your kids busy. If the freezers are still working somehow, there could be a surplus of frozen patties, which are certainly useful. Let's just hope Ronald McDonald doesn't catch the virus because you really don't want to deal with zombie clowns. Number 8. Farm Supply Store. There is a reason why there's a global seed vault all the way in the isolated island of Svalbard, Norway. People realize how important seeds will be during the apocalypse, and they've created vaults in order to make it more difficult for you to break into them. Since that place might be a little bit tricky to loot, you should probably go to your local farm supply store and see what you can grab. There might be enough supplies for you to start a small farm. Trying to grow your own food will be the safest way, and hopefully you can avoid looting altogether. See if you can get your hands on some kind of seed that you can plant in uncontaminated soil and wait for them to grow. You might as well get yourself some fertilizers, some soil, some plant food, and so on. Number 7. Walmart. It might look like the zombie apocalypse has already struck at some Walmarts, but if you gather the courage to try to loot this massive store, it could ultimately yield some valuable supplies. The advantage with Walmart compared to other places is the fact that there's so much stock here that you really don't need to fight anyone for supplies, unless of course it's the last box of Twinkies. We've all seen complete chaos at Walmart before Black Friday, so we do know how it can get out of control. Consider using some flashbang grenades or some tear gas in order to calm down things a little bit if people get too rowdy. It could also be a good idea to get what you're looking for, then get out. Be sure to bring a bag in order to safely secure your loot. Number 6. Mattsumoto Castle, Japan. This is one of Japan's most historical castles and could also prove to be one of the best places to loot during the zombie apocalypse. Not only is it already surrounded by a moat, it features walls and gatehouses to further its protection. The origins date back to early 1500s when it was built by Shimadachi Sadanaga. It's been renovated several times, which should keep it in good condition as long as no fires break out, especially since part of it's made of wood. And if you do get inside, keep in mind the second floor should be equipped with Japanese armor as well as some katanas that you can use to your advantage. The only way to get in though is through a bridge, which could be booby-trapped, so watch out. There's also a decent amount of windows that should help you spot a zombie from a long distance. Number 5. Trains. Consider targeting freight trains for loot during the zombie apocalypse and try to get your hands on just about anything. Do your best to get on a cargo train and steal commodities that can be resold on the street to other survivors. Successful looters will have a decent amount of planning and also use high-tech devices such as night vision to conduct their raids. Trains carrying anything from shoes, computers, cell phones, and other highly valuable objects can run through rough parts of towns. Trains over 150 cars are often difficult to keep secure, and they will be targeted by thieves. Once the loot is secure, it'll find its way on the black market for a discounted price to buyers. Number 4. Loot the zombies. As you're wandering around the world of the undead, you'll come across valuable commodities that can be extremely useful. Your journey will be filled with surprises and possibly hidden treasures left over at the time when people were eating each other's brains. Whether it's looted from people's fingers or even body armor worn by police, keep your eyes out for things like this. The barter system will take over once the zombie apocalypse strikes, and you need to have something ready to trade. The wedding rings that were once symbols of people's marriage will become easy targets, and you can melt those down into bullion. Number 3. Police stations. We wouldn't typically suggest you do this, but it's the apocalypse, so what do you have to lose? This one might be difficult, and you're going to need a crew that knows what they're doing in order to pull this off. The police station will more than likely have powerful firearms and ammunition, which will definitely come in handy. Many of these buildings contain alarm systems, which will attract noise, and therefore attract zombies, so careful planning is needed. Have a lookout who's ready to take out anything harming your chances. Get your supplies, watch out for zombie cops, and get the heck out. Although firearms are allowed and ammunition will be limited, check to see if they have things like riot gear and body armor as well. Number 2. Pet stores. You really might cringe at the thought of having to resort this low, but some people might realize that dog food is all that's left. It's completely canned and full of protein, which almost makes it an excellent food source during the zombie apocalypse. Whether it's dry dog food or the wet kind or even doggy biscuits, it might be your only choice during this dramatic scenario. Since most people probably already looted large grocery stores, this leaves pet stores as a backup option when you're desperate for food. Who knows, if you put a little hot sauce on it, it might not be too bad. Plus, it might not be a bad idea to bring home a new puppy who you can use as a companion during the zombie apocalypse. People will also want to feed their pets in any case, and there should be plenty of value in looting a pet store. Maybe you can even train a parrot to tell you when zombies are coming? Who knows? And number 1. Zoos. Zoos will be in complete chaos during the zombie apocalypse like most places during this time, but it could end up being a decent place to loot. Here you might find valuable things such as antibiotics and tranquilizer darts, which can be used to quietly take out guards. Zoos are also unique in a way that they're built to keep people out, yet also keep in animals from escaping. If they haven't escaped from their enclosures just yet, the animals can serve as a valuable companion or even possibly as food. Hopefully the animals won't turn into zombies and become more dangerous than before. It might be a little bit risky, and there's certainly some cons to this option, so plan your entry wisely.